Hi, I'm Larry, and this is Pontiac Solstice Adventures, and today we're going to start reupholstering the door cards in the Pontiac Solstice GXP. We got some material in. It covers the entire bed, so we got plenty of room for mistakes. I also found this piece in the parking lot of, I don't know where it was, some gas station out of here. I figured, well, I can practice on this. I just kind of make sure that I know what it is that I'm doing. So hey, thanks for watching today. Like and subscribe, and we'll go through the process today of how to reupholster those door cards right there. So the reason for upholstering this is you can tell that I've got this sag, and everything I've been reading says, well, that happens because of heat. And so we're gonna take the door off, and then we're going to take that down and replace it with a black diamond material that also has some red stitching. Ella decided she wanted to go for a ride, and she's going to be extremely disappointed when it's just out to the driveway. So if you've ever taken the door panel off, you know we've got, where's my finger? There it is. Hey, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws we got to take off, and then the door panel come out. And then we also have to undo the clips for here and the up there for that door, for that button, and then the cable for the door handle. Lots of videos out there on how to do that. Watch one of them, because I'm not going to take the time to do it. But anyway, you might be asking, hey, what's this piece of tape for? And what I did is I took a piece of tape, I started up underneath the door window button here, and I just kind of made a line so that I can kind of step back on the other side and say, is this aesthetically pleasing? My first thought was that with this diamond stitch pattern is it would just make it go straight across. But then I was like, you know, maybe if we try to follow the angles a little better, maybe it'd actually look better. So I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we're going to try it. So we're about 30 minutes in. I went ahead and took out the door handle brace so that the door handle will go ahead and come off. With this piece, this is what holds your buttons. Here's your door button. Take this out first. The way I did it is just used a pick and got on the back side. Once I got the back side down, came out really easy. Then to get this out of the door, I just used a trim tool, and I started in the back. And as you're doing that, you can kind of squeeze this back in just enough to get it out, and then came in through the side. Came out pretty easy. Door handle came out with just a good yank. If you can kind of pull it from the bottom will release first. Top comes out a little easier is what I've discovered. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we're going to have to find all of these little spots for the door card. And everything that I've seen on how to do these things is just sand them down as you want to leave as much there, because I think what they do is that they have the peg comes up and then they hit it with a heat tool to lock it down. But we're going to get all those undone and then hopefully drop the door card out of here. We're also got some staples here around the front edge, it looks like, and maybe all the way around here. So we'll figure out how to deal with that. Yeah, there's more staples. We'll figure out how to do that as we continue this process. All right, so we got them all out except one. There is one, looks to be about right there. I'm gonna get a drill out and see how nasty that's gonna be. So using a Dremel tool, I took just the bare minimum off that ring just to leave that center stud, and it popped right out. Had to deal a little bit with here. Next one we're gonna try to get is this one way up in there. All right, so we're about 1 hour and 20 minutes into the passenger side door and finally got the card separated. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull the staples and start taking this fabric off. All right, we got our first spray down. I'm using 3M90. Got some here on the back of the fabric, got some here on our test piece, and it says to test it with your knuckle, and if nothing comes up, then it's probably ready. Didn't take very long. We'll start here and try to see what this looks like. All right, you know what? I know what it looks like, but the glue is sticking, and that's really all I was caring about, and not really looking about trying to finish this scrap piece just to make sure that stuff was going to work. So I think we're about ready to start laying out our first layout of the cloth onto the actual door panel. So in looking at the original that I took off, there is a trim cut here, also a trim cut here around the door handles. So I went ahead and marked it on our plastic piece there. All right, so we got the passenger side done. Wasn't terrible. Driver's side poses a couple of different challenges, I think. We're gonna have to take out this plug right here. We're gonna have to take out this plug right here. We need to take the door brace off. That's a 10 millimeter, I think. This whole socket section, and that's kind of interesting. It's been duct taped in. So whatever that's about. But then still need to drill these out and then replace them. A couple things. There was on the other one, there's a bracket underneath here and a bracket about right there. Also had to cut into these holes to get the joints to release as well. So all right, so we're now back to the driver's side door. I'm going to, I think, just when I get ready to spray the glue, I'm going to cover this up with tape. This will come out. I'm just not being successful at it. Also, I've drilled all of the posts out and then cleaned them up with a Dremel tool. And what that'll do is that when we get everything covered and then comes back into the door, we'll be able to put some screws and washers on that to hold everything together. So we've used number 8 by 1/2 inch screws with some washers here. Go all the way around. I had to find a bigger washer for the bottom of the door buttons. Everything's put back together. I also used this, it's like a, I don't know, decorative edge stripping just to go around there. And what I did is keep it loose. Don't tighten up all your screws yet. And then that will go in real easy. And then as you get it in there, then you can go in and tighten up the screws and it will stick right where it needs to be. Sometimes you will have to use a little bit of a touch of super glue just on the corners. And there's the driver's side door done. And anyway, all total, took me probably about 7 hours total, broken over 2 days. But anyway, hey, thanks for watching Pontiac Socialist Adventures, and like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have an awesome one, guys. Bye.